Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the 15th episode of PHP with MySQL Crash Course for Beginners, Superglobals. Superglobals in PHP are spatial predefined arrays that hold essential information and are available in all scopes throughout a PHP script. They provide you various informations related to variables, forms, sessions, server configurations, and more. And here we have got Visual Studio Code as our code editor, and if you need to learn more about VS Code, you can watch my VS based series and find the link in the description below. Superglobals include $_get $_, let me copy this a couple of times. We have $_get, then $_post, and then $_session, and after that $_cookie, and next we have $_server. After that we have $_files, and then we have $_. Let me make another copy of it. After files we have $_env, stands for environment. Then we have $_globals. Let me cut this last one. Before we move on, let me inform you that we'll discuss these three superglobals: $_get, $_post, and $_session in our 16th episode, and rest of these in this episode. First of all, we are going to jump into, say, cookies. And for that, let me bring up my Explorer and let's make a copy of our sample.php, and let's rename it as superglobal-cookie, or say cookies. Hit enter. Let me close the Explorer as well as the sample.php and this extra file as well. Let's not save it, and let me add some PHP tag here. After that, first of all, let's make sure that the auto reload is working. Let me add here echo hello, after that followed by semicolon. Hit save, and let's start PHP and live server. So open with live server, and that will bring up the browser with a new tab. Let me close this tab for now. Let's get back to VS Code and let's turn PHP server on. It's already turned on, so let's reload the server. Let me close these notifications, and after that let's bring up our browser and browse local host followed by PHP tutorial followed by / and the name of the file that we have just created, which is superglobal -cookies.php, and make sure that I have typed the correct spelling: PHP tutorial superglobal-cookies.php, and that should be working fine. So we have got hello text here, meaning that, and make sure that before you browse to this file you turn your web server on. So let me resize the browser. Let's stretch it a bit. Let's resize it back again, and let's stretch it all the way to the down. Alright, and let's also resize the editor. Let me slide it up a bit, and let's stretch it all the way to the down. That looks perfect now. And just to make sure that your auto reload is working, let's add some random character here. Hit save, and that's working. Let me zoom in a bit. That looks fine. Let's get back to VS Code, undo, hit save, or let's cut that line of code from here, and let's get back to cookies. I'm gonna make it, let's comment this out, go to the next row, and you're gonna start a cookie with a built-in function setcookie. It requires some arguments. Setcookie. And as far as the arguments are concerned, let me hover it over, and you will need to pass here a couple of arguments. the name of the cookie, the value, expires or options, or the path. So let's define couple of variables here. First, $cookie underscore name equals to, say, let's make it user, followed by semicolon. Let's define another variable that's gonna be cookie underscore value equals to, the value would be, say, John Doe, followed by semicolon, and after that let's define another variable which is expiration underscore date equals to, and you can define the value with the help of time function that will return the current Unix timestamp. And let's add the seconds that you want to keep this cookie available for, say 3600 seconds, and let's add the semicolon. After that let's add another variable here, say $path equals to, within quotes, and that can be /. Hit save and we get fatal error, and let me fix it. Let's comment this out for now. Hit save. Now this first argument will be cookie name, as the argument name suggests. Then we have cookie value and the expiration date you want this cookie to available for, and then we have got path. This fourth argument suggests or specifies the path on the server where the cookie will be available. If set to /, the cookie will be available across the entire domain. Now let's comment the function out, and let's pass here all of these arguments, say $cookie name, comma, $cookie value, comma, $expiration date, comma, let me wrap the editor, and then $path, followed by semicolon, and hit save. As you hit save, nothing happens, but if you, let me maximize the browser, and say if you turn your DevTools on with the help of Control or Command Shift I, that launches the DevTools. By the way, if you need to learn about this little tool, you can watch my DevTool based series and find the link in the description below. Now let's click on this application tab, and under cookies we have got this cookie set. The name is user, value is John Doe, domain localhost, and the path is /, and the expiration date. So that's how you can get the information about the cookie. And let me toggle this DevTools for now, and let's get back to VS Code. Now you would like to check if the cookie is set. Let's comment that out, go to the next row, and let me define here if as a structure. And now you will need to specify here a built-in function which is set, that returns true if a variable is set, say. Or before we move on, let me show you, let's comment this out. Let's print _r, and after setting up your cookie, you can display the information about $_cookie superglobal, followed by a semicolon. Hit save, and we get the information. The name of the cookie is user, and the value is John Doe. So this is one of the ways you can get the information about the cookie. Let's comment this out and uncomment this whole block of code. So as far as this conditional parenthesis is concerned, let's specify here a function is set, and let's pass here $_cookie, and you will need to pass here a key which is $cookie_name. So if that returns true, meaning if this variable is set, cookie underscore name, which is, you have already noticed that it is set. It's true. You can echo hello followed by, let's concatenate here, dollar underscore cookie and the key, which is dollar cookie underscore name. Let's concatenate here another string, which is, say, sign of exclamation followed by welcome back followed by semicolon. So if that's true, you can echo such type of message. Otherwise, if the cookie is not set, you can echo welcome visitor followed by semicolon. Hit save, and that parses an error. Let me comment this line out. Hit save, and that displays the message, hello John Doe, welcome back. Next, you would like to know that how you can, let me add some room here and let's browse all the way up. Next, you would like to know that how you can delete a cookie by setting its expiration time to the past. Say, let me show you what I mean by that. Say, the cookie name would be the same, and let me define here dollar expiration time or date, you can say, equals to, say, time, and let's add here minus 3600 somewhere in the past. So that will return a time, or Unix time is time somewhere in the past. That will immediately delete the cookie, and let's set the cookie back again. And now you will need a couple of arguments to pass here. Say the name of the cookie that you want to delete. Say dollar cookie name would be the same, and then let's add empty string. After that, dollar expiration date or time, comma, or let's make it select all the instances with the help of hotkey control or command shift L, and let's make it time. Hit save, and we get the same. And after that, let's add dollar path. So these are the three arguments you will need to delete the cookie: the name of the cookie, expiration date, this is the most important, and the path, and followed by semicolon. Hit save, and as the message suggests, hello John Doe, welcome back. But if I hit save again, notice that the message is welcome visitor, because after setting up the cookie, we have deleted it as well. Furthermore, you can also check if the cookie is deleted. Let's comment that out, go to the next row, and let me define here simply if statement, and if not is set, and the name of the cookie, which is dollar underscore cookie, followed by the key, which is dollar cookie name. And if that's true, meaning if this variable is not set, meaning that the cookie has been deleted, you can echo your cookie has been deleted, come back soon, or you could say simply cut that come back soon, followed by semicolon. Hit save, and welcome, we don't need welcome here, welcome visitor. Let's add some line break, just because PHP starts reading the code from top to bottom. That's why you also get this message, welcome visitor. So that's how you can check if the cookie has been deleted. Secondly, let's talk about that if you want to explore the world of server-side information, you can use $_server superglobal and unveil the secrets of your server environment. So for that, let me prettify this file And let's cut this extra space from here and this one as well, just because I also share all of these tutorial files with you. You can find all of these files in our GitHub repository. Let me save the file, close that with the hotkey controller command W. Let's bring up the Explorer and let's select and make a copy of our sample first, and let's rename it as super global server. Super global server. Hit enter. Let me close this Explorer as well as sample.php, and let's add some PHP tag, and after that let's echo hello server. And now you will need to turn the auto reload on again, followed by semicolon. Hit save. First you will need to, let's open with live server. Let's close that tab and let's open new tab. Let's close this previous tab as well, or let's keep it right there. And after that let's hit save and let's browse to the file that we have just created, which is superglobal-server. Hit enter, and that's working. Let me add some random text here or character. Hit save, and that's working. Let's cut that line of code from here and back to $_server. Let's comment this out, and first of all let me show you that what we have in this $_server by invoking print underscore r function, and let's pass here $_server followed by semicolon. Hit save, and we get an array something like this, which is I guess not easily readable. So there is a hack that you can also implement. Say let's echo followed by within quotes add some HTML tag here, say pre. Let's copy that and paste that here. After that let's add semicolon, and within these opening and closing pre tag let's add a couple of commas, and let's var dump here $_server. Let me comment this line out for now. Hit save, and we have syntax error. Var dump, let's cut that from here and let's add parentheses, paste it back. Hit save, and we get the information something like that. So let me zoom out a bit. Now these are the keys that you can get the information about, say HTTP host, unique ID, and HTTP user agents, server name, and so on. So let's resize the browser and get back to VS Code. Now first of all let's get the server's host name. Let's comment that out. Go to the next row and let's echo server host name colon followed by, let's concatenate here $_server and name of the key, which is within quotes. Let's add, let me turn my caps lock on, server underscore name. Let's wrap the editor and let's add line break, and I think I should comment this line out for now. Hit save, and the host name is localhost. And after that let's add some line break, and secondly let's talk about how you can get servers software name and version. Let's comment this out, go to the next row, or let's add some room before we move on. Let's browse all the way up and let's echo here server software semicolon, and let's concatenate here $_ server followed by the key, which is to get the server's name. Let's add in here server _ name followed by semicolon. Hit save. Host name, they both returns the same. Sorry, that should be, I mistakenly added here name. That should be replaced with software. Hit save, and here is the software and the version of this server. Let's go to the next row, add some line break, and after that let's move on to that how you can get the current, let's make it lowercase, current script name or the file name, current script or the file name. Let's comment that out, go to the next row, and let's echo current script or file name. Let's concatenate here $_ server followed by the name of the key, and that is script _ file name followed by semicolon. Hit save. The file name is server.php with the path. Next we are gonna discuss that if you wanna get the server's protocol. So just for an idea, I'm displaying you all of these keys, otherwise you can get it from the array that I showed you earlier. Let's browse all the way up, and after that let's simply go to the next row and let's echo within quotes, say server protocol colon followed by, let's concatenate here $_ server followed by the key, which is server _ protocol followed by semicolon. Hit save, and let's add some line break before we move on. The protocol is HTTP 1.1, and we'll discuss HTTP in user login form episode maybe. And after server protocol, you would like to get the request method. Let's comment that out, go to the next row, and now let's echo request method colon followed by, let's concatenate here $_ server followed by request _ method key. Let's add some line break here as well, and let's why is that showing an error? Okay, unexpected string error, expected colon echo, sorry. Hit save, and the request is get, because if you do not specify the request, the default request is get, and we'll discuss that in a little bit or in the next episode. After super global server, you would like to go for $_ env super global, stands for environment. Say if you want to dive into the world of environmental variables, you can use $_ env. Let me show you $_ env and uncover the mysteries of your server environment. So let me cut that and prettify this document. So let's cut this extra space from here and this one as well. Let's cut that, hit save. Let me close this file for now. Now let me bring up my Explorer and let's sample. Now let's make a copy of this sample.php and let's rename it as super global -env, stands for environment. Hit enter. Let's close the Explorer as well as this sample.php, and now I'm gonna add some PHP tag. Let's echo hello env followed by semicolon, and let's hit save. And now you will need to turn the order rel back again, and for that let's open this document with live server. Let's close this tab for now, and let's browse to the file that we have just created, or the page, which is superglobal-env. Hit enter and make sure that auto reload is working by adding any random character. Hit save, and that's working. Let's cut that line of code from here, and let's go to the next row and start $_env. Let's comment that out and say if you want to dive into the world of environmental variables, you can use $_v and uncover the mysteries of your server environment. So first of all, let me show you what we have in this $_env superglobal with the help of var_dump, and let's pass here the superglobal $_env as an argument followed by semicolon, and hit save. And you don't get anything just because there may be a couple of reasons, say server configuration, access permissions, PHP configuration, or system specific behavior. So in that case you can alternatively use getEnv function followed by parenthesis. Let's comment that out, and this line as well. So to get the path variable, let's echo path variable value colon followed by, let's concatenate here, and now you will need to invoke here getEnv function and pass here the key, which is path, as an argument. Hit save and you get the path. Let me zoom out a bit. Alright, so that's how you can get the path. And after that, say if you want to get to know the user, let me comment that out, and let's echo here user colon, and let's concatenate getEnv and pass here a string which is user as an argument followed by the semicolon. Hit save, and before that let's add some line break. Hit save, and the user is root. And after that, or say if you want to get the home path, let's comment that out, go to the next row, and let's echo home path is colon, let's concatenate here getEnv, and let's pass here string home as an argument followed by semicolon. Hit save, and we get, I forgot to add a concatenation period. Hit save, and that is, let's add some line break before that as well. Hit save, and the home path is also /root. And at the end you can also get the language. Let's comment that out, go to the next row, and let's echo within quotes lang variable value is colon, and let's concatenate here getEnv, and let's pass here lang string as an argument followed by semicolon. Hit save, and I always forget to add line break. Hit save, and the lang variable value is en_us_udf-8. So that's how you can make use of this getEnv function. Now before we move on, let me prettify this file and let's remove this extra space. Hit save. Let me close that. After that, we are going to move on to that how you can use globals super global, and for that let's bring up our Explorer and let me select the sample.php. Let's make a copy of it and let's rename it as super global hyphen globals. Super global hyphen globals. Hit enter and let's add here a couple of PHP tags followed by echo. Let's hello globals followed by semicolon. Hit save and let me close this sample for now. And now to turn the auto reload on, you will need to open your live server again. Let's close that tab. Now let's browse to the page that we have just created, which is super global globals. Hit save and make sure that the auto reload is working. Hit save. Yes, that's working. And now let me close our Explorer. Let's cut that line of code from here and move to globals. Let's comment that out. The global superglobal in PHP allows direct access to global variables from anywhere in the script, including within functions or methods. Let's define a new variable here, which is $global underscore var equals to say 10 followed by semicolon. Let's go to the next row and then let's echo initial value of the variable is, and let's concatenate here $global var. Let me wrap the editor followed by semicolon. Hit save and the value, initial value is 10. Now before this echo statement, let's define a function here, or comment this line out followed by function keyword. Then the name of the function would be access underscore global underscore variable followed by parentheses and curly braces. Now let's try to access global variable here. Global, yes, that was the typo error. Let's comment that out and let's echo followed by quotes accessing global underscore var inside a function, and then let's concatenate here $global underscore var followed by semicolon. Now you get an error. This is undefined variable $global underscore var, and after that let's invoke access global variable function here, and before that let's add some line break. If I hit save, we also get warning undefined variable. Now to access this variable inside this function, you will need to access it within globals superglobal. So if you cut this variable from here, or let's come here and or let's specify here $globals superglobal followed by the key which is global underscore var followed by semicolon. And now if you try to access $global underscore var, hit save, you still get an error. Or if you need to access it, let's copy this variable from here and paste that in here. Hit save and that returns accessing global underscore var inside a function, and we don't have the error anymore. So that's how you can access any global variable within a function, or say if you want to modify the value of the variable, you can do that as well. Let me comment this line out. Or say if I try to modify the value of this variable, let's come here and now let's echo within quotes modified value of the variable is colon, and let's concatenate here globals followed by the key which is global underscore var followed by semicolon and hit save. Undefined constant global underscore var within quotes, hit save, and you get the modified value of the variable. That's how you can modify the value of any global variable within a function. Now you would like to get into is how you can make use of $_files superglobal. So before we move on, let me prettify this file and let's cut this extra space. Let's save the file and close it. Let me bring up my Explorer, select the sample and make a copy, and let's rename it as superglobal-files. Hit enter, and let's close the Explorer as well as sample.php. And before we move on, let's add some PHP tags and let's echo hello files followed by semicolon, and now you will need to turn the auto reload again. So hit save and let's open it with live server. Let's close this tab and browse to the page that we have just created, which is files, superglobal-files. Hit enter and make sure that your auto reload is working. Let's add some random character here. Hit save and that's working. Now let's cut this line of code from here, go to the next row and get back to $_files superglobal. Let me comment this out. Hit save, and the $_files superglobal contains elements corresponding to the form's file input fields specified by the name attribute. Each element within $_file is itself an associative array containing information about the uploaded file. Some of the common keys in $_files array are, let me show you right here. So these are the keys, some common keys: name, type, size, temp_name, and error. So these are some of the common keys included in $_files. Let's get back to superglobals-files, and before we move on, let me create a very basic HTML form. If you want, you're going to also copy this form from our repository or GitHub repository and find the link in the description below. And for that, let's add form tag, and the action would be, let's echo $_server followed by the key would be PHP_self semicolon, and let's cut this line of code from here and let's paste it as a value of action attribute. Let's add some PHP tag, paste that in here, cut that extra space, and let's take this to the same line. Now let's cut this whole line of code and paste that in here, the value of action attribute. So what does it mean? It'll actually return the name of the file or the same file. Otherwise, you can also keep it empty. On submit, the form will redirect you to the same file, which is superglobal-files. Now after that, let me add another attribute here, say the method, and the value would be post. And let me wrap the editor. After method, I'm gonna add here another attribute which is int type, and the value would be multi-part form data. Now this int type attribute specifies how the form data should be encoded, and the value, which is multi-part / form data, is used to upload a file through form. And after that, let's add couple of inputs here, and the type would be file, name can be file to upload, and the ID would be the same. By the way, this is all HTML tags, and if you need to learn more about HTML, you can watch my HTML based series and find the link in the description below. After that, let's add some line break, and let's add another input here. The type would be submit, and the name can be submit, and instead of ID, I'm gonna add in here value. That's gonna be submit. Now as I hit save, we get pretty nice and decent, let me zoom out a bit, basic HTML form. So let's copy this line break and make a copy of this line break, hit save. Alright, now after that, let's move on to PHP part or backend part, how you can get the files uploaded. And before we move on, let me define here a new variable that's gonna be, say, $target underscore directory equals to, within quotes, upload, followed by a semicolon. Now second, you would like to check if the directory exists, otherwise we will make Apache server to create this directory for us. Let's comment that out, go to the next row, and let's define here if else structure. So say if not is underscore dir, and let's pass here $target directory. Let's define another condition here, which is if not makdir. This function creates a new file, and here it means that if it cannot make a new file, so what you would try to make is $target directory. And since I'm using Linux, let's add in here another argument, which is 0777, just to give it a permission, followed by comma, and let's add another argument which is true. And after that, if the whole condition is true, you would like to die the script, meaning if you don't find, or if the script does not find this target directory, and also not able to create this directory, you would like to die the script execution with a message, say failed to create colon, and let's concatenate here $target directory. Let's concatenate here another string which is directory, TORY. So if it's not true, let's come here and go with your further code execution, say echo directory exists, followed by semicolon, and hit save, and we get parse error, syntax error, unexpected token, which is I forgot to add here semicolon, hit save, and directory exists. If I show you, let me bring up my Explorer, and let's delete this folder for now, move to trash, and hit the save back again. Now if you notice that it returns an error, makdir permission denied in this location, failed to create upload directory, meaning that your Apache web server does not have the permission to create any file or folder in this location, in your htdocs location. So to turn this on, if you are using Linux, let me bring up my terminal. And first of all, if you want to check the ownership of the current directory, say you can go to opt-lamp and let's type in here ps aux, or if you simply say ls-l, hit enter, and you get the details about the folder, which is php myadmin, and there are too many folders in here, but your interest should be in somewhere in here, htdocs, because in this folder you always host your application, and right now the ownership of this folder is with root. And if you want to create any folder or file with the help of PHP scripts, meaning that you are trying to create a file or directory with the help of your Apache web server, so to do that you will need to give a permission to your Apache server to create any folder or file in this directory, or in other words, you will transfer the permission of this folder to Apache web server. So now let me show you how you can get the user of Apache web server. You can check this with the command, say ps, let me clear the screen first. Let's type in here ps followed by aux pipe egrep within single quotes Apache followed by pipe character and httpd. Hit enter, and if you don't get any error, you will get the information like this. So this is basically the user of your Apache web server, which is daemon. Now you will need to transfer the permission of your http docs directory to this user, which is daemon, and you can do that just by sudo change ownership followed by hyphen uppercase r and the name of the user, which is daemon, and the location, which is hyphen opt hyphen lamp hyphen ht docs hyphen php tutorial, and this should be the name of the directory that you want to give the permission to this user or Apache web server's user. So simply hit enter, and if you don't get any error, meaning that you have successfully transferred the permission to your Apache web server's user. Now let's get back to VS Code and bring up our browser. Now if I hit save, we don't have any error and the directory has been created. If I delete this and let's move it to trash, delete permanently, now our VS Code doesn't have the permission to delete this file. So that's why that displays an error, meaning that suggests that we have successfully transferred the permission to Apache web server. That's why it created this upload directory. So now let's move on. After successfully creating target directory, let me close my Explorer. So if everything goes fine, you would like to check if the form is submitted. And let's comment this line out, go to the next row, and let me define here our if else structure. So for the if part, conditional parenthesis, let's check if the form has successfully been submitted with the help of $_server followed by the key, which is first you would like to check the request method. Say request_method, and if that is equals to post, you would like to echo the form has successfully been submitted, followed by semicolon, hit save. Otherwise you would like to echo error submitting the form, followed by semicolon, hit save, and directory exists. Where is, let's add a line break there, hit save, and error submitting the form because we haven't clicked this submitted. If I hit submit, we get the message the form has successfully been submitted. Now let's move on to further code execution. Before we move on, let me show you what keys do we have in $_files superglobal. So with the help of print_r function, let's pass here $_files as an argument, and let's hit save. We don't get anything because we haven't chosen any file. Let's click on this button, choose file, and before that let me maximize our browser, or let's click on this choose file button and go to downloads or documents. Let's select this file for now, and as you select the file, it returns the name of the file. Let me resize the browser, and as I hit submit, $_files, I have chosen the file, and that echo after submit, that should take us back to the same file. It does not show us any detail. Let's select the file again. The form has successfully been submitted. If I hit submit, we don't have any file. $_files. If the request is post, why we don't get the details about $_files? Print our error. Oh, sorry, I mistakenly added this code here. Error submitting the form. So let's cut this line of code from here, and let's get back to, so if request method post, after checking the form has successfully been submitted, let's go to the next row and paste that code here just to get $_files array. Hit save, and we get this detail here. Let's add some line break there, add save, or so these are the keys that you can get the information about the file. Say name of the file, the type of the file, and temp name, error, and size. Now let's access all of this information individually within this part of the code. So let's comment that out, go to the next row, and say I'm going to define a couple of variables here. $file_name equals to $_files, and the key, which is, say, let's copy that from here and paste that in here, followed by semicolon. Sorry, I forgot to tell you the most important part is, let's comment this line out, and let's uncomment this line of code, hit save. And first of all, the main key of $_files array is this first key, which is file to upload, and that corresponds to the name of the input that we defined here in the form right here. So if you have defined some other name of this input, say if you have defined here files to upload, hit save, submit, that should display files to upload. Let me undo that, hit save and submit it again. So all of this information, say name, type, temp name, error and size, you can get all this information in this key of $_files superglobal array. So let me show you what I mean. Let's close that. We don't need it anymore. Let's get back in here and say if you want to, let's uncomment, hit save, and we get error, undefined array key name. We don't have any key here in $_files array. What we have actually is file to upload. Let's copy that from here and paste that in here. So to access the information about the files you upload, you first need to specify the name of the inputs that you uploaded your file with, which is file to upload, and the information that you want to get about this file, which is, say if you want to get the name or type, temp name. Let's hit save and we don't get any error anymore. Now let's choose a file which is 01.image and let's hit submit, and we get, now let's comment this line out and continue defining the variables. Say $file underscore type equals to, or let's cut that from here and let me copy this line of code a couple of times, say 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and now we will change the information or keys accordingly. So for the second variable would be file type, and let's add in here type, and the third variable would be file underscore temp underscore name, and you can get that by the same, I guess. Let's come here and specify the key as well, which is temp name, tmp underscore and a name, and after that let's define here error, and the key would be also error, and at the end we have size, and let's define the key which is also the same, that is size. Let's cut this extra copy of this code, hit save, and we don't have any error, meaning that we have specified right keys here. Now let's move on. Say we are going to echo if everything goes fine. First you would like to echo, say name of the file, and let's concatenate here $file underscore name followed by semicolon, and after that let's add some line break there. Hit save and we get the name of the file, which is 01.img.jpg, and after that let's come in here and make a couple of copies of this code block, say 1 2 3 4 5, and now let's change the details as per our requirement, which is second would be type of the file, and it's file type, and then you would like to echo temporary name of the file, which is file underscore tmp underscore name, and then after temporary name you can echo if there is any error, and that is file underscore error, and after that you would like to echo size of the file, and let's concatenate the corresponding variable, which is file underscore size. Hit save, and we get all the information here. We get name of the file, type of the file is image JPG, temporary name or the location is base, we don't have any error, size of the file is 111902 KBs. That's how you can get individual information about the uploaded file. After that, you would like to upload the file. So let's get back to VS Code, upload the file. Let's comment that out, and before we move on, let's define a new variable, say $target underscore, this time it will be file, equals to dollar, and let's comment this out, and let me bring up a file from our include or require episode. We actually defined here these two constants, root and directory separator. If you need to learn more about these two constants, you can watch my include or required based episode and find the link in the description below. Let's copy these two constants from here, get back to superglobal -files, let's go all the way up, and let's define these two constants here. Hit save, and let's get back where we left file. Now let's uncomment that line of code, and first I'm gonna define here a root followed by directory separator, followed by directory separator, and let's concatenate here our upload folder that we created right here. Uploaded the file. Can I delete that file? Move to trash? Yes. Let me bring up our Explorer, and let's make sure that we have created upload folder. Now let's close the Explorer, get back in here, and add in here the folder upload, followed by directory separator, and let's concatenate here the name of the file, which is $file name. Now before we move on, let's echo what we have, $in target file variable. Let's hit save, and that returns the location of the folder where we upload the file as well as the name of the file. Next, you would like to check if the file already exists. Let's comment that out, and I'm gonna define here if else structure, and you can verify if the file exists with built-in function file underscore exists, and let's pass in here the name of the file, which is in this case $target file name, and if that exists, you would like to echo the file already exists. Otherwise, you would like to echo you can upload the file, followed by semicolon. Hit save, and before that let's add line break. Now you can, that says you can upload the file. Let me browse, or let's, if file exists, let's add some room here, and let's scroll all the way here. Now finally you would like to upload the file. Let's comment that out, and I'm gonna define here if else structure, and you can upload the file with the help of built-in function, which is move underscore upload file, and pass here two arguments. Number one, the name of the file, and once you hit submit, the browser takes the file in its temporary name, which is right here. So you will need to pass here the temporary file name as an argument, $file_temp name, which we already defined as a new variable, and second argument, the location and the name of the file that we defined right here, target_file. Let's copy that variable from here and specify it here. And once that uploads the file, let's echo the file has, and also concatenate the name of the file, which is right here, or simply $file name. Let's cut that from here, otherwise it does not trigger the suggestion box. Let's cut that from here, paste that in here. The file, the name of the file has successfully been uploaded. Otherwise, you would like to echo, sorry, there was an error uploading the file. Hit save, and we get an error here on line number 64 because we did not add semicolon. Hit save, and we get a couple of warnings here. Move uploaded file, failed to open stream, permission denied. Now you will need to give a permission to Apache web server to create files and folders. So let's get back to, let me bring up my terminal, and let's find out that is the command, or let's change this to the user of Apache web server, which is daemon. Hit enter, and if we get back to VS Code and bring up our browser, let's save it, and we don't have any error anymore. You can upload the file, and this file has successfully been uploaded. If we open our folder, which is upload, now you see that it has successfully uploaded the file. So that's how you can upload file. And that was all about SUPERGLOBALS. If you have any question, you just feel free to comment below, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.